Let's go straight to the point. Let's kick this off with Vikings because apparently we've all been lied to by Halloween costumes. Those famous horned helmets? Total fake news. Vikings never wore them in battle. That whole look was dreamed up by 1800s opera costume designers who thought, you know what these bloodthirsty warriors need? Accessories. In reality, strapping two giant handles to your head is basically asking to be tackled. Archaeologists did find horned helmets, but they were ceremonial and thousands of years older than the Vikings. So no, Ragnar wasn't running around headbutting trees with antlers. Now onto everyone's favorite fishy insult, the goldfish memory myth. You've heard the line, they only remember things for 3 seconds. Wrong. Goldfish can solve mazes, remember the solution months later, and even recognize human faces. Some can even learn tricks, like swimming through hoops or playing soccer. And they do all this with a brain the size of a pea. Honestly, that's more impressive than most people scrolling social media for hours. Speaking of myths that refuse to die, gum. Supposedly, if you swallow it, it'll sit in your stomach for 7 years. Nope. Gum slides through your digestive system just like corn, only smoother. Your body doesn't digest it, but it also doesn't build a condo for it in your intestines. Unless you're swallowing entire packs daily like a maniac, you'll be fine. The truth? Gum doesn't stick to your insides. It sticks to sidewalks, forever. Next up, pennies from heaven, or in this case, pennies from skyscrapers. The classic myth says a penny dropped from the Empire State Building will smash through someone's skull. Sounds dramatic, but reality check. It only reaches about 25 miles per hour before air resistance taps the brakes. That's slower than a kid on a scooter. Getting hit would feel like a flick, not fatal. And then there's the classic brain myth, the whole you only use 10% of it nonsense. If that were true, the rest of your gray matter would have been evicted by evolution ages ago. In reality, your brain is a power hog. It's only 2% of your body weight, but guzzles 20% of your energy, like a tiny space heater wired directly into your skull. Brain scans show activity everywhere, even when you're asleep. So no, there's no magical unlock the other 90% button waiting to turn you into a superhero. The only thing we're not using 100% of is our potential and our gym memberships. Lightning also gets a bad PR rewrite. You've heard the saying, lightning never strikes the same place twice? Absolute nonsense. The Empire State Building gets zapped about 25 times a year, and then there's Roy Sullivan, a park ranger who got struck 7 times. They called him the human lightning rod, which is both accurate and kind of mean. By his 4th strike, his coworkers literally started avoiding him during storms. Can't blame them, honestly. Lightning doesn't play favorites. It just loves tall objects. Be the tallest thing around, and congratulations, you're the target. Remember when your mom told you not to swim right after eating, or you'd drown? Yeah, that was bogus too. Not a single documented case exists of anyone dying because they jumped in the pool after lunch. The theory was that digestion would hog all the blood from your muscles, leaving you flopping around like a noodle. In reality, your body multitasks just fine. At worst, you might get a cramp if you cannonball into the deep end right after pizza, but that's it. Competitive swimmers literally snack during training. So no, that hot dog won't drag you to the bottom. Oh, and let's not forget the wear a hat or you'll freeze myth. The old line is that you lose half your body heat through your head. Wrong again. That came from an army survival test where people were dressed in full winter gear, except their heads. Of course, that's where the heat escaped. In reality, your head is only about 10% of your body's surface area, so it loses roughly that much heat. It just feels colder because it's full of blood vessels. The only people who actually lose a ton of heat from their heads are babies with giant bobblehead proportions. Adults? Your uncovered arms will freeze just as fast as your uncovered head. And finally, the infamous sugar high. Parents swear cake turns kids into Tasmanian devils, but science says otherwise. Researchers gave some kids sugar and others fake sugar. The result? No difference. Kids weren't more hyper, but when parents thought their kid had sugar, they suddenly started seeing wild behavior. Confirmation bias at its finest. The myth kicked off in the 1970s thanks to one doctor blaming food additives. But let's face it, a kid at a birthday party is already bouncing off the walls because it's a birthday party. Sugar is just the scapegoat. If you like this, I'll be posting more in the following days. Leave a like and subscribe to be updated.